on a 12 or 7-inch anyway. And that's what I'm thinking in terms of 7-inch. Now, when you talk about doing 12-inch, usually all we would do, we would save it because we want them grooves to be thicker for the speakers. So we would just put an instrumental on the flip side. We very seldom put any of the songs on a 12-inch.
So the bigger the grooves, the louder it sounded in the speaker.
Better it sounds in the speaker. When you have a vinyl record, you have 22 minutes of sound on that vinyl record from the first time the needle drops to the label. It's 22 minutes. And when you try to squeeze 4 or 5 songs on that one side, you have to you can't cut the grooves that too deep because because you have to make room. You don't want your records the grooves to be too deep because you don't want your record to jump over to the next track. It's like cutting the ditch. You cut the trench, and when they put it on what they call a lathe. It's a real lathe, and it goes around there. It's the tape recorder or the DAT is playing, and the vibration from that DAT is cutting the grooves into that record. Okay, but when you have a 12-inch, you got 22 minutes, and you got a bigger space between the grooves. You can turn that lathe up a little bit deeper, let it cut a little bit deeper, which means your bass and your bass is going to resonate a whole lot more. That's why 12 inches were a lot more popular. Any DJ that's ever played vinyl will tell you that the 12-inch is a lot fatter than the album cut. Play the same song, it's going to sound good, but on the album it's going to sound fat, especially in the club. And that's why 12 inches became more popular in the club, because the grooves were cut a lot fatter and you can get the punch you want that you couldn't get from the album.
That's that nerd shit I like. Sorry. I got into nerd territory with that, but I love that stuff, Lonzo. We got a question from Mark Chavez. This is a good one. He says, Lonzo, when you first put out Slice, how many other West Coast labels were out at the time? Did you get any advice or see what other labels were helping new artists with?
Only label was around at that time was Freak Beat from Uncle Jam's Army. Duffy had his label, and Cletus had his label. But as far as hip hop labels, that was only us. It was and even Freak Beat. Yes, I think their first song was Yes, Yes, Yes or Dollar Freak. It wasn't really a hip hop song. It was more of an R&B song that we did. Or it was a Yes, Yes, Yes was a saying they said at Uncle Jam's Army party. Yes, 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 yes. It didn't have no lyrics. That's all they said. Yes, yes, yes. It was the dumbest shit in the world, but it was popular at their events. And we made Slice. We were just taking off a Run DMC. We just snatched some of Run DMC's vibe. Clientele was in the studio. Yellow was there with the drum machine. I paid for the studio time, and we just made some shit happen.
There you go. Now, let's see. Someone says, whatever happened to Shirley Murdoch coming on the show? Who's Shirley Murdoch, Lonzo?
Shirley Murdoch is, she's a singer with Zapp. She was supposed to come on the show once before, and at the time when she got to come on the show, she had a death in the family. Zapp stays on tour. I don't even think she tours with them anymore. I could reach out for Lester and find out. I think she had an album coming out. She had a project coming out. I got hooked up with her. She's married to one of the guys in Zapp. That I know for sure. And he called me up because we're pretty cool. Hey, man, my wife is going through some things. We'll get back with you. I just never got back with him.
You know what? Talk to us about how big Zapp was. We got about 5 more minutes. How big was Zapp and Roger back in the day?
Zapp was bigger now than they are back in the day. When they came out with that shit, More Bounce to the House, dude, that shit would light Eve After Dark up. That shit was, dude, come on, man. And see, there was, and then they came out with 12 inches, okay? Because Zapp, that fucking bass is just do. I saw Zapp at the YouTube theater last year. Took my son to go see him. Man, that shit made your stomach hurt. The bass just made your stomach hurt, dude. It just, oh my God. They had that shit fat as fuck. I brought Zapp to my club, Hollywood Park Casino. Oh my God, man. I got video of that shit. I still got the video from that shit. I video a lot of stuff for Hollywood Park Casino. But Zapp was huge, man. I mean, because they came out with something that nobody ever done before. George Clinton was was off the chain. Okay, Lakeside was rocking like a son of a gun, but the groove that Roger and Zapp laid down in the 80s was unheard of, ain't been touched since then. Cameo was funky, but it just was a different kind of funk. If Zapp was socks, there would be some rotten socks. They were so funky. They like rotten socks. Okay, they're just funky for no reason. And it's hard to beat that funk. George got a sophisticated funk. Cameo got a funk, but the funk that comes off of
disrespectful. Just gonna slap your mom in the face type of funk.
It's just, oh my God. Like I said, like riding socks, man. Come on, dude.
Damn, I love that, man. What do you know about the talk box that he was using? How hard that, tell us about what they used back then. Now you could push a button on a mixer and change your voice. But what went into the talk box?
Talk box. It was a tube. It was called a talk box. It was a tube you stuck in your mouth, and you had to put it right next to the microphone. And somehow or another, it distorted your voice. But it was also a matter of air and some other shit that I never understood. I never had a talk box. I've seen him in action. Battle Cat is probably one of the best guys today, according to him. That Roger taught him how to use the talk box. And I never used a talk box. I used a vocoder. Vocoder gave us a mechanical sound. It was same again. The vocoder gave you the mechanical sound that you got on Juice and some other stuff, but it just wasn't as funky as the talk box. So the talk box was gritty. Like I said, it was just because the keyboards they use like a Moog keyboard, which gave you a gritty ass sound anyway. And combine that with the talk box, shit, man, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, man.
Hard to beat.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Before we head out, I want to ask everyone once again to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, you are tuned in to N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. We have so much content on this channel. Just go down the rabbit hole if you really love West Coast hip hop, because this is the man that was there from the beginning. Any last words, Lonzo?
Like I always say, folks, for those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck ice tube in the freezer till it got cold on the eve after dark, 50-yard line Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that bullshit because it was all Hollywood cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember, folks, that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace.